sitting by the runoff, waiting for the call. The Chebar Canal is a ribbon of black, dragging the waste that we can't take back. Among the captives, among the displaced, looking for a signal in the industrial waste. The 5th day of the month, the 5th year of the chain, when the sky started cracking like a window in the rain. The Chebar frequency, the sky and the scream, a vision of the architects that's never been seen. The heavens are open, the signal is clear, the voice of the glory is hitting the gear, tuning the spirit, locking the soul. The system is losing all sense of control. A whirlwind came screaming out of the north, a cloud, a white fire and lightning broke forth. In the middle of the ember, in the middle of the flame, I heard a new frequency calling my name. The hand of the architect landed so heavy, breaking the dam and the weight of the levee. I'm falling on my face in the soot and the grime, caught in a glitch at the edge of the tide. Now it came to pass, as I was among the captives by the river of Chebar, that the heavens were opened, and I saw visions of God. The Chebar frequency, the sky and the screen, a vision of the architects that's never been seen. The heavens are open, the signal is clear, the voice of the glory is hitting the gear. It's on me.
Complex assembly of the architect's desire. Wings like a jet wash, feet like the brass, sparkling like a furnace through a looking glass. Faces of the lion, the eagle, and the man, moving in the center of the mast, displaying straightforward motion. They don't have to turn in the holy combustion where the spirits burn. Wheels within wheels, the barrel and the blaze, a multi-dimensional industrial maze. Eyes in the rims, fire in the core, breaking the physics of the hangar floor. Gears within gears, the color of the sea, the high tolerance design of the deity. The rims are so high they hit the dark sky, covered in the vision of of 1,000 eyes. When the creatures lift, the wheels lift too. A synchronized movement that the world never knew. Whithersoever the spirit was to go, the machinery followed in a holy flow. No steering, no shifting, no friction, no lag. The glory of the architect is never gonna sag. Ezekiel 1. The appearance of the wheels and their work. A whale in the middle of a whale. Wheels within wheels, the barrel and the blaze, a multi-dimensional industrial maze. Eyes in the rims, fire in the core, breaking the physics of the hangar floor. The architect told me grab a tile of the sun before the demolition has even begun. Lay it in the dirt, draw the lines of the street where the iron and the ivory used to meet. Sketch the perimeter, sketch the main gate, the blueprint of a city in a terminal state. No more visions of the wheels in the air, just a man on his side in a posture of prayer. The seed sketch, the clay in the dust, drawing the end of the pride in the trust. Build the forts, cast the mound, watch the industrial glory hit the ground. Lay on the left side, bear the sin, waiting for the reckoning to finally begin. Set the iron pan like a wall in the way, a barrier of metal in the heat of the day. I'm eating the bread of the famine in the field while the sound of the hammers is hitting the ear. 390 days in the grid, bound by the spirit, refusing to quit. Every line on the tile is a crack in the wall, a lo-fi prophecy of the coming fall. Ezekiel 4. Take thee a tile and lay it before thee, and portray upon it the city. Even Jerusalem. The seed sketch, the clay and the dust, drawing the end of the pride and the trust. Build the forts, cast the mound, watch the industrial glory hit the ground.
threshold is cold, the incense is gray, the glory is packing its shadows away. I watch the cherubim lift from the floor, the sound of the wheels at the easternmost door. No more fire in the Holy of Holies, just the weight of the pride and the religious follies. The architect's moving, he's clearing the room, leaving the sector to the silence and gloom. The Ichabod protocol, the light is gone, a midnight system in the middle of dawn. The departure is silent, the departure is slow, watching the weight of the recovery go, from the door to the gate, from the gate to the hill, until the heart of the city is cold and still. He's standing on the mountain looking back at the wall, waiting for the system to finally fall. The glory isn't trapped in a building of stone, it moves with the spirit, it moves on its own. We kept the rituals, we kept the machine, but the center is hollow, the center is clean of the presence and power that gave us the breath. Now the Ichabod protocol is a sentence of death. Ezekiel 10. Then the glory of the Lord departed from off the threshold and stood over the cherubims. The glory was gone! The Ichabod protocol, the light is gone, a midnight system in the middle of dawn. The departure is silent, the departure is slow, watching the weight of the recovery go.
Standing on the cold road perimeter wire, in the shadow of the smoke and the industrial fire, I can see the sword, I can see the glint of a coming storm that didn't leave a hint. The architect put me on the sector 33 wall to blow the silver trumpet and to give the warning call. If I see the danger and I keep it in my throat, I'm sinking with the city in a lead-lined boat. Sector 33, blow the trumpet loud, warning every scavenger in the gathering cloud. If you hear the sound don't speak. The blood is on the Watchman in the middle of the week. You say the way of the architect isn't fair while you're choking on the smog of your own poisoned air. Turn from the circuit, turn from the grind, leave the industrial failure behind. I don't take pleasure in the system's death. I just want the city to catch a new breath. But I'm bound by the spirit, I'm bound by the post, watching for the enemy on the Jerusalem coast. Ezekiel 33. I have set thee a watchman. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word at my mouth, and warn them from me. Sector 33, blow the trumpet loud, warning every scavenger in the gathering cloud. If you hear the sound, if you take the heed, you're escaping the judgment at a tactical speed. Architect led me down deep to a valley where the rusted out memories sleep. A vast horizon of the fractured and the frayed, a graveyard of every machine that we made. Disconnected pistons and the hollowed out shells, silent as the shadows in the industrial hells. He asked me a question that hit like a stone: can life return to the scrap and the bone? The reassembly, the noise and the shake, the moment the rusted foundations awake. Bone to the bone, gear to the gear, the breath of the spirit is finally here. Connecting the hydraulics, restoring the light. An army of iron is standing upright, standing upright. And I heard the screaming of the ancient rust, a clatter and a clicking as the parts began to find the original intention of the architect's mind. The sinews are cables, the flesh is the steel, turning the imaginary into the real. But they're standing like statues, cold in the sun, waiting for the power grid to finally run. Ezekiel 37. Prophesy unto the wind, come from the four winds, oh breath, and breathe upon these slaves. The reassembly, the noise and the shake, the moment the rusted foundations awake. Bone to the bone, gear to the gear, the breath of the spirit is finally here.
stepped back into the sector, back to the inner door, and I saw a silver trickle running across the floor from under the threshold, from the right side of the gate. A tiny stream of mercy in a dry and thirsty state. The architect led me out 1,000 cubits down the line. The water hit my ankles and I felt the holy sign. He measured out another and the current hit my knees. The sound of the wasteland turning into a breeze. The threshold stream, the healing of the waste, the sweetest water that the scavenger can taste. It's rising in the sectors, it's rising in the soul. A river of recovery that's taking full control. Where the water flows, the life begins to bloom, breaking the silence of the industrial tomb. Up to the waist now, the pressure starts to grow. The old world is washing in the heavy holy flow. Another 1,000 measures and the ground was gone at last. A river I could only swim, the limits have been passed. Look at the banks, look at the trees, leaves that never wither in the spiritual breeze. It's heading for the desert, it's heading for the sea, turning the Dead Sea into a living sanctuary. Ezekiel 47. And everything shall live whithersoever the river cometh. Behold, the waters were rising. The threshold stream, the healing of the waste, the sweetest water that the scavenger can taste. It's rising in the sectors, it's rising in the soul. A river of recovery that's taking full control.